Hello and welcome to the 11th episode of Bible FC 25, an RTG edition. As you can see on screen, we were gifted with an icon Zidane card, which is another nice Old Testament option if we score with him because he's old. And off the back of the last episode, we were able to upgrade our Evolutions Heber card, which leaves the team looking in very good shape with Zidane on the bench, upgraded Heber. But before we head into a proper game, we were gifted a draft token, EA being very generous today, and we willingly obliged to do the draft. We used the 4-2-1-3 formation to put together this rather sexy looking team, if I do say so myself. And basically the first game was a really weird one. The opponent smashed me. At the end of the game he scored a weird own goal, which still meant he won 6-5, but he quit just before the full-time whistle blew, which basically gave me a second chance. Here's some of the highlights from that game, just to show you a couple of the goals I scored. Liao with one of the picks of the bunch. And then also I scored a direct free kick with Di Natale, just so you don't miss out on the footage. But the guy deserved to win. He just clearly was feeling kind that day or something weird happened with his internet. So we got a second chance against this, an absolutely stacked looking team, as usually they look on drafts. And I took the lead early doors with Vinny Jr. to go 1-0 up. And then a bit later into the half, in fact only minutes later, I had a nice wriggling run with Di Natale and he finessed beautifully, rolling back the years for 2-0. And then into the second half, with that man Di Natale again, I popped him on his left foot again and he smashed it past the keeper to make it 3-0. However, after blocking his shot with Mbappe, I gave it back to him and he put it in for 3-1. And he pulled another goal back to make it 3-2. However, I saw out the game for a 3-2 win. We take a sort of step closer to winning all 4 games. So 1 win on the board and we come up against this in our second match. Another stacked looking team as per always. This guy was sweaty, I can't lie, and I managed to nick an early 1-0 lead with a bit of a scrappy goal. And at this point I'm dreaming. However, the sweatiness came through. He equalised at 1-1 with that. He then sweated it for 2-1 with that. Then from a corner he bulleted in a header with Yap Stam for 3-1, a bit like a duds. I know one of my subscribers will know that reference. Then 4-1, and I was getting battered at this point. I put the sweatbands on, and I pulled a scrappy goal back, a very jammy goal with that for 3-2. I then played nice sort of little 1-2 with John Barnes. Berber spinned inside and composedly trivelled it into the back of the net for 4-3. And at this point, I'm in the game. And then this happened, and I was absolutely cheesed off of this. My keeper, for some reason, just couldn't pick it up, and it threw my defender, and he put in the goal for 5-3. And at that point, I just was completely lost, to be honest. And he scored again for 6-3, and then he scored again for 7-3, and then he scored again with this for 8-3, and then a final bit of misery. He scored again for 9-3. And I basically lost the game 9-3. I went out of the draft, and we were given a fairly standard offering for the packs, 3 standard golds. Delict was the highlight of the pools. But with all the sales and all the fodder I managed to sort of get coins for, we were able to muster enough money to buy an in-form Mateus Cunha, which was a lovely upgrade for the team. And with him in the team with Zidane on the bench, look at the state of that. A really solid Bible FC 25 looking team. So we hop into a proper game against this, rocking the Marseille badge. Pretty solid team. And here's what's happened. 1-0. A little bit later, this time into the second half. 2-0. A little bit later in the second half. 3-0, I think with Zidane. Everyone's got Zidane, everyone's got Bellingham at this point in the game. And then 4-0. So my defence is still struggling even with the Heber upgrade. So we lose 4-0. No close to Division 8 to try and get back to where we should be, in my opinion. And then we come up against this. Another Ollie Watkins. Lauren James at right wing was a menace all match. I give her a pen, which he duly sticks away with Zinedine Zidane, even though I guessed the right way, for 1-0. And a bit later into the game, rolls on him with Socrates for 2-0. And then what I describe as a coming together in the box results in a penalty and a red card for 3-0. However, I do pull one back with this little mazy weaving run of Thierry Henry around the keeper with a bit of delay lag, and I score the goal for 3-1 to give us an option for the Bible passage finally in the 31st minute, Old Testament option. But then scores again for 4-1, and then I believe Lauren James makes it 5-1. and then as he goes through on goal, he sweats it for 6-1, and then through again on goal, 7-1. So we lose the game 7-1. We can't end on that. We go into another game against this Brian Burmo left back, fairly standard looking team, as he fires past my keeper for 1-0. However, look, Henry into Cunha, goal! 14th minute, Mateus Cunha goal to give us a Booker Matthew option, but then bang, De Bruyne 2-1. Again, he gets the ball, and I give away another penalty of the episode, and he dispatches it for 3-1. And then into the box he goes, buries it past my keeper for 4-1, and that's how the game finished. Let's have one more crack at trying to end on a win and provide some more options for the Bible passage. A 5 at the back with a Dharma Troy out front. How sweaty is that, might I mention? But look, into the box we go with David Beckham for a 1-0 option from perhaps a psalm that David wrote in relation to goal time, and then through on goal we play that man in for Mateus Cunha, who finesses past the keeper coolly for 2-0. At this point he had enough, he quit, so we got a win. We finally get a win, 2-0. We got a good few options for the Bible passage, most importantly as we take a step closer to Division 8, and we'll head into that Bible passage part of the video now. Okay, so into the Bible passage, and we're going to go with a couple of goals actually. We're going to look at the Mateus Cunha's 14th minute inspiration by turning to Matthew chapter 14, and also Thierry Henry's 31st minute goal with an Old Testament chapter 31 option. And interestingly enough, my daily reading today was a chapter 31 in the Old Testament, and it's in the book of Isaiah, and there's a verse in there that really stood out to me. So I'm going to start with that, and it basically says this: like birds hovering, so the Lord of hosts will protect Jerusalem. So Jerusalem kind of representing God's people. He will protect and deliver it. He will spare and rescue it. And this image of birds hovering over God's people and those that put their faith in him, I just thought it was a beautiful picture of like God's just sovereignty like over us. If you've put your faith in Jesus, how, even though, you can't see God present often in this life kind of on a physical level, he's still there, he's still with us, and he's still very much over us, like the birds in the sky. He's over us all of the time. And I just thought that was a wonderful image where, yeah, whatever you've got going in your life, he's over you and he wants to help you in whatever's going on. And the Matthew chapter 14 passage, sort of, I guess, linked to things going on in our lives and things that can cause us stress, etc., is where, well, there's a lot of things that go on in chapter 14, but I wanted to talk about where Peter walks on the water. So Jesus is walking on the water, again, kind of proving how he was the Son of God. He really was God that could do anything. And Peter's like, look, if it's you, God, tell me to come. And Jesus said, look, come on the water, come and join me. And Peter basically starts walking on the water as he's got his eyes fixed on Jesus, as he's trusting in Jesus, as his faith is filled by Jesus, that, I can walk on water to Jesus with his help. But as soon as he starts looking around to the wind and all that's going on around him and the stresses of the situation, he starts to lose his faith and he starts to sink. And I guess the encouragement sort of from that chapter I wanted to bring is, if you're a believer, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. And if you're not a believer, you need Jesus with whatever is going on in your life. He wants to help your situations more manageable. He doesn't want you to sink and fall into your issues or whatever you've got going on in your life and completely drown. He wants to keep you afloat and he wants to help you to keep going in whatever you've got going on, remembering that he's over you and he's also very much with you in the situation, as I think those two passages both help to show us. So yeah, if you're a Christian watching this, I want to encourage you, if you're going for a difficult time moment or whatever's currently causing you stress at the moment, keep spending time with Jesus, keep looking to him, keep trusting God's perfect plan for your life, the God that's over you and everything, that's got a perfect plan, that's with you, that knows exactly what's going on in your situation and that's working all things together for good for those that put our faiths in Jesus. And if you aren't a Christian, I want to encourage you, look, God wants to help you in life with whatever's going on. He doesn't want you to walk around life treading on eggshells, just hoping things are going to work out okay, or whatever difficult situation you might be facing. I watched a video by Randolph, a Pokemon YouTuber, the other day, where he basically had his business broken into, and he was just at the end of himself. I think he had like a relationship breakup in the year, and now his business was being, completely potentially, he could have lost his business basically over what happened, and he was losing loads of money with it, and he was just at the end of himself, like, I literally just don't know what to do. I'm completely crippled and broken. And he was at breaking point, and I was watching it thinking, man, like, You need Jesus, because as much as this situation is terrible, and there's like, the thing is, often God doesn't make our situations completely perfect. He often does, but he doesn't always. But what he does do is he makes them manageable, and he doesn't want you to drown in those situations. And I was watching Randolph do this video, and he was drowning in his situation. And I was like, I think I commented just to say, I know like this is an awful situation, but I still believe God wants to help you in this, and you know he can help you through this, and he can also bring good out of this and turn your situation around. And thankfully, I think he is on an upward trajectory now. I don't know if he has a faith or not, but I just thought if you don't, you know, God can help you through this. At the very least, you know, if you keep your eyes on Him, He can help you through the most difficult storm, the most difficult time. He doesn't want you to sink into your problems. He wants to help you through them, and He wants to be with you in them and give you hope. Even in the most difficult situation, that one, God can change, but two, even if He allows it to continue to happen, He wants to help you through it and not to drown in it. So that's my encouragement for the day. Whatever you've got going on, I want to encourage you to turn your eyes to Jesus. I want you to put your faith in Him if you haven't already. That might be my encouragement. And yeah, there's a God that wants to help you in this life if you haven't found Him. That's bigger than all of what's going on in your life, to help it manageable with whatever you face. So yeah, that's the encouragement today. I hope you found it helpful. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, is a verse that comes to mind to finish. And yeah, please like, subscribe if you found this helpful, want to tune in for more. Comment any questions. If you, yeah, and if you have anything on your mind that, yeah, you'd love me to get back to that I can help you with. But for now, yeah, have a wonderful rest of your days, and I'll catch you on the next one.